No face cam today. If you've seen my latest Pokemon episode, you'll know why. Long story short, usually I use a cable to use my camera as a face cam. Don't have that cable at the moment. I will get myself a new cable to re-enable me to use face cam, but it might be an episode or two of the Kingdom Hearts series before I actually get back to that. Until then, we'll have to deal with that face cam, but we still have the gameplay, and that is the most important part. And maybe I can't make funny faces, but honestly, that also means that I won't be embarrassing myself with funny faces. So do let me know how you like this episode without any face cam. Can I just like leave this place? I cannot. There's no end trigger, is there? It's an amazing start because I didn't actually save before coming in here. As you could clearly see, I used the save state just before the battle started. I'll redo the gummy route and everything. Sadly, the Agrabah map did not get randomized into a different item, so that means that we are just gonna have a map. But we also immediately have a save point for me to go back to the randomized ISO, so that is a good thing. Time to open out some chests to get things like blazing crystals, because that's clearly, and secret anthem reports, that's very, very useful indeed. There's quite a few chests around here in the main area of Agrabah. I think Agrabah is going to be a, if we didn't already have a great shield, that would have been a nice find. I think it's a fairly lengthy world for our purposes. Magic lock-on might not actually be that bad, all things considered. So this might be a bit more of a detection shield. What is that? That sounds like a ability that belongs to Tron, like so many others we've had so far. By the way, I looked it up. Bolts of Sorrow is a Jack Skellington version of Thunder. We can't actually use it. Where is the ability we just got? Wait, did I just go past it, or do I not have the ability? I already forgot what it's called. Maybe it doesn't matter, but I'm curious. I'm just curious. Right, so is it in here anywhere? It doesn't look like it is, in which case maybe it's a Donald or Goofy thing. Doubtful, but it could be. I mean, we might as well turn on hyper healing for both of these, right? Because they'll probably die quite a lot, so having hyper healing on might not be a bad idea to begin with. I don't know exactly where we're supposed to go, whether we're supposed to go to the palace now or towards the desert. It's definitely the palace. Okay, so we've got a ladder now. And I'll see you, I guess, in the desert, or when I encounter enemies, or when I find more chests. It's probably going to be enemies, and it's probably going to be right now. Because there's no enemies around here. Why are we in the middle of, like, action music and stuff? More secret anthem reports. Didn't I already open their chest? I mean, I opened a chest with secret anthem report too, and since I didn't switch ISOs, that is strange. Oh, we need to go to the peddler shop. Okay, so again, I'll be back with you once anything interesting happens, because so far we're just walking around Agrabah and getting ourselves. Wait a second, doesn't like a big chest show up here? In a moment? I think it does. Once he becomes the... Why, hello. I think once he becomes the, like the very rich merchant dude, I think he has a chest in his shop. I don't know when that happens, though. I think that happens when we come back from Agrabah's Cave of Wonders. That's the word I'm looking for. An Orichalcum ring, that's potentially going to be even more AP than I already have, and honestly, I kind of have all the abilities I want to have equipped at this point. There's a couple more abilities that would have been like not too bad to have equipped, but it's probably not going to be too useful. Finally! Fucking finally! Okay, Aladdin, you're out. We want Goofy because of Valor form. Holy crap, that... We're at like the second to last world of the game. for the first visits, that is. We're not final. We're not close to being done with the game as a whole. And now we got Valor form, also T-pose and Dusk, because why not? And we get 2 summons in a row. Do we actually get the summons? We have Genie now, and check a little and Stitch. Genie is definitely the best summon in the game. Maybe Peter Pan is actually. I think Peter Pan is actually a better summon, but I like Genie more. A Rumbling Rose, actually not a bad Keyblade to put on Valor form, potentially. We should probably look at what Valor form is going to get equipped with. Colosseum map. It's the most useful fucking thing we have found so far. Okay, so, items. Sora. Valor form now has the Kingdom Key. We just want something with a lot of strength, right? So Hero's Crest has air combo boost, which is a good ability to have, especially with Valor form, which has long combos, a lot of hits, and we can use it in the air, I do suppose. So that is an option. Then we have the Rumbling Rose, which has Finishing Plus, which also is really good and has more strength. So for now, I'm gonna probably go with Rumbling Rose on Valor form, which is also literally the most physically powerful Keyblade I have other than the ultimate weapon. I'm gonna save state just in case when I use Valor form I crash the game. That tends to happen. It did happen before anyway. In my first playthrough of the randomizer, it did not like dry forms at all. But we're going to want to level up Valor form as much as we can, because obviously I'm going to assume that those abilities you get there are randomized as well, and it's not just gonna be high jump every single level up. So let's go Valor form. T-pose. Why not? This is not gonna help me, is it? Okay, so maybe no Valor form, because I can't hit anything, so who cares? I don't know why it T-poses me. That's the weird thing. For all intents and purposes, at this point in the game, you should be able to go into Valor form. Why in the world does it T-pose me? Slide dash. Is that different from sliding dash? Oh, it's literally just called slide dash in this translation. I think the official name of it is sliding dash. It's just a bit of a strange translation. This is not the official English translation of the game, obviously. It's a fan-made patch to make the Japanese PS2 version of the game playable in English. And we have a black screen. Okay, so for whatever reason the game does not want me to go in here with a randomized patch applied. There's a lot of chests around here. I'm not going to open any of them for obvious reasons. I'm going to go into the Cave of Wonders as far as I can before finding a save point. Then when I find that save point, I'm going to save and I'm going to go back to the first... I need to talk to this one. To the first room and then go open those chests. It's going to be a little bit too bad that we might miss out on like 1 or 2 randomized things. It might be because of this, because obviously... Can we just like... have a boo jump over? I don't remember how this minigame works, honestly. Okay, that's how this minigame works. We literally just mash triangle. Okay, and this bonus has not been randomized either. So there's a couple of things that are not randomized today. But I tried all my randomization patches and none of them worked. And now we have a save point. So let me go save and reboot the emulator again. But this time with the randomizer applied so I can actually get those items. I think it's 5 chests in total. So there's a decent chance that one of them at least is going to be something halfway decent. Opening the chests, we get a Cosmic Belt, which I don't think is that bad, but not that good either. Oh my god, we got a membership card. It's the most amazing thing ever. We got a Slayer Earring, which I guess could be worse. We probably should give some of those items Upper Slash, which we already had. I was really excited there for like half a second, and then I realized I think I already have that ability, and I'm not even using it. So That's all the items in here. Let's move on to the rest of the Cave of Wonders. Nothing in here really mattered at all. Do I have any more accessory slots unlocked in the meantime, actually? I do not. I have a lot of them as it is, so I probably shouldn't complain about not having even more. But by the end of this playthrough, we're probably going to have so many accessory slots at Let's Save State here. That is going to be insane. We're probably going to have like 20, if that's even possible. I don't know if the game, like, the programming of the game just caps out at a certain point, just like it does with drive gauges. I kind of doubt it, though. I think that we'll just have a lot of accessory slots, which, honestly, I don't really mind. And we got sliding dash again, so we've got 3 sliding dashes now. If they were to stack, that would have been amazing. So I could, like, sliding dash from one side of the map over to the other side of the map. That being said, you do need to lock on to something in order to sliding dash over, or slide dash, as I would like to call it, over to it. So that wouldn't really do much for me, would it? This seems a lot easier, by the way, than the original version of this challenge. I mean, there's a lot of weaker enemies in the original version, like all of those ice cubes and those little magma things. But at the same time, there were also like large bodies and the fat bandits in the original version, which were always a pain to deal with. So there's no end trigger. There isn't an end trigger. We have to do this in the vanilla version of the game, I think, because at least we'll lose, right? If we just wait for 40 more seconds, we'll lose this attempt, and then we can, I don't know what we can do, honestly. Okay, I managed to finish it with a randomizer, with a different patch. Apparently just one of the enemies did not spawn. I also looked up something regarding the drive form crashes and T-poses. That doesn't seem to be something to do with the randomizer, but more so with the English patch I'm using. Maybe in combination with the specific emulator I'm using, which there's not a lot of PS2 emulators out there to begin with. But Struggle Wand, could I equip this? I think that's a key item potentially. Okay, so that item literally just does not show up in your inventory, even if you have it. Not that it matters because I was never going to use it, but it would have been fun to have it. Unless... There's no way because it's a 1 that it's a dull item, right? Right? This could potentially be painful and dangerous because it's a very small area and I need to kill 50 heartless, and if any of them don't spawn, I'm going to be stuck here, which... This is a smaller version of what could go wrong with the 1000 heartless battle, because if that ends up not spawning all 1000 of them, I can't finish it. And that is a thing that does end up happening with these scripted battles in the randomizer quite a lot. Sometimes enemies just do not spawn, and as a result you cannot finish the battle. So hopefully this one won't have that issue. Of course it does. Only spawn 45 enemies out of the 50 that are supposed to spawn. And that then means I'm just literally stuck in here. We're going to have to do it with the clean ISO. As will the 1000 Heartless battle, most likely, sadly. Interestingly enough, it seems like only the initial spawns were randomized and everything else hasn't been randomized. All the magma little things and the ice cubes still are the same. While the initial couple of Heartless, these are the ones that did not spawn. Which honestly, I don't think they could have randomized into more difficult enemies, especially for the amount of room we have here. Can I use magnet on you? I suppose I can. Wait, why doesn't it work again? I want it to work again. Never mind. I'll just thunder all of you today. I might not be able to do that. Never mind. I want to use a Valor form really badly, but I can't. Which means I cannot unlock the Paradox Cups either. And if I can't get max Drive form abilities either, that means I also cannot go to the Cavern of Remembrance. Which all of that ends up being a slight issue. Not that I was like planning to or like doing the post game necessarily anyway, but it's a little bit of a bummer that I can't, even if I wanted to. Or maybe I can. Maybe there's like, I definitely can, by the way. There's definitely like warp codes, action replay codes where you can just warp to certain maps, like the data fights for the organization. We'll see when we get to that. That'll be a while from now. Okay, so we've got Scar and the door from B's castle. We're going to get rid of Scar first because the risk he poses with deposing. Also because the other one really is not a risk at all. Because as long as we don't stay within his reach, I don't even think he can damage us from where we are right now. And Scar, I do really wonder what the Pride Lands are going to be like for us. It might be a very glitchy mess. I'm assuming we'll still be Lion Sora, right? Or will it just be normal Sora in the Pride Lands? Which would be very interesting in and of itself if we were. Because I don't think that would necessarily bring up a lot of problems other than the hyena fight. But the hyena fight is going to be randomized anyway, right? So I don't imagine not being a lion would really pose much of a problem gameplay-wise inside the Pride Lands. It would do, other than like this. But that is something with the Scar fight, not something with the Pride Lands as a world, right? So I'm assuming it was still going to be Lion Sora, but it would be very interesting if we weren't, is all I'm saying. You know, while you're doing that, we might as well just attack this dude. I wonder if we can actually do the reaction command here. I didn't really think about that. I'm assuming we can? We'll figure that out in a moment, once Scar is down. Okay, that is Scar dealt with, and now the easier fight of the two. This is also the boss fight of this world. We once again have a very... You're too high up. I can't release you. You're too high up. That is really annoying. Because I need to be on the ground to use the reaction command. But if I'm on the ground, I'm not on reach to use the reaction command. Right? That's how that works? Yeah, that's definitely how that works. That's a bit of an issue, not gonna lie. Which means that we're going to do this fight again, but with a different randomization, because the easier of the two fights actually is a bit of an issue. Attempt number 2 is 2 organization members at the same time. One of which is Luxord, which means that we are literally in an impossible fight again. And the other one really does a lot of damage, so yeah, that's a data fight. Damn it. I mean, I would, at this point in the game, at least give Zolin a couple of tries here. Wait, how does that work? Oh, because usually... Do Ice Lord and Magma Lord, or whatever they're called, count as Mickey fights? I didn't know that, because nobody ever loses to them. At this point in the game, I would at least give Zolin as a solo fight a chance to take him on, because I think we're ready for that kind of thing now. But even if I were to beat him, Luxord is still a thing, and taking on a unbeatable enemy and a data fight at the same time, just taking on an unbeatable enemy, of course, we're not going to do, but especially since he's going to be annoying with the data fight and intervening with that, we're going to just pass right on to the next patch. Okay, so we've got Loroxine, and yet again the same issue with the unbeatable enemy thing. We're going to take out Loroxine just as a sign of good sport, also because we just need some content for this episode, because it's not been a very long episode so far. And Loroxine is a decently fun fight, especially in a little bit of a bigger arena where she can't toss me around as much. She's not actually that difficult, so she's fun to toss around. It's just a grudge, okay? I'm just holding a grudge against Loroxine. Just let me be. she's a really annoying fight in this game, that is. I don't really remember her data fight in 3. I don't think it was that difficult, honestly. If I'm, well, honest. That's what honestly means. Good morning. And just like this, we're going to beat her up, and then we're going to move on to the last randomization patch we have. And if that one does not work, we'll just have to go with the Magma Lord and Ice Lord fight, which I didn't think we'd have to end up doing that, really. I think that might be the first time we did that. Maybe, didn't we do that with Axel as well? The original Axel fight as Roxas, where we ended up randomizing into a couple of different things and none of them were beatable? I think we did, actually. I might actually go into Anti-Form. I don't know what Anti-Form, by the way, does not crash my game. But the Valor Form, at least, and presumably the other Dry Forms as well, do crash my game. I have no idea. But that's how it ends up working. And I'm not very eager to try it out right now. So you're almost dead, Laroxine. Just let me hit you. I do like the gimmick, though, of Laroxine being able to clone herself. It doesn't make any sense why she has this power and nobody else does. Like, I suppose Noah Nomura in the last, like, 2 or so updates that are still scheduled for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, there's going to be an explanation for it, since somebody is in there. But unlikely, actually. Unlikely. Lelouch is somebody actually turning out to be a very important character. I don't think Lorraine really is doing much. But, what is Lelouch? Wait, what? How did that count as the end of the fight? I mean, sure, but how did that count as the end of the fight? There was still a second boss that I hadn't even touched. And moreover, how does that count as the end of the fight, but the scar didn't when I killed him? That doesn't make any sense. Though I guess that ends off this episode. Next episode we're going to the Pride Lands. And we'll see if we are Lion Sora or not. I do think that this episode is long enough. The last couple of episodes I've been saying it's a bit of a shorter episode potentially every single time, and then when I end up editing it, it ends up being a longer episode, and I actually have to cut out some less interesting parts to like not have it be a 40 to 45 minute episode. Right now I'm 50 minutes into recording, so I'm assuming that maybe this is a little bit of a shorter episode. A little bit, but not much. I'm very bad at judging the length of the episode based on my recording session, because obviously there's quite a lot of downtime while I switch around patches and do things that are not randomized and all that kind of stuff. So I have no idea. It's probably going to be like a 25 to 30 minute episode either way. So until next time, I'm a vlogger. You've been awesome. I don't have a face cam. Do let me know how you like that, by the way. Do you prefer me without the face cam? Do you want the face cam back? It's not like I did this because I didn't want to include the face cam for this episode, but as I mentioned in the Pokemon episode and in the beginning of this episode, I literally do not have an option to have a face cam right now. For Pokemon, since they're very short recording sessions, I can do it with my camera internally. For this, the recording sessions go like between 50 minutes and an hour and a half, and my camera just stops recording after half an hour, and it'd be a bother to include the face cam for this. So do let me know how you like this. And if you prefer it without facecam, the facecam might just not come back. See you all next time. Bye.